Ham Radio. We go ham. It's your boy Tony G and Big Lou, the sports book. Another exciting Tuesday night. Lot to talk about. Craziness going on. KD gets an extension, gets more money.
Mm-hmm.
The Lakers are steadily
stacking the back of the wagon. Stacking the wagon.
Stacking the wagon. That's 37, 35. It's crazy though, and they are stacked. And I was listening to I don't care, McPhee or one of them, and they're like, they're super stacked, and they going on and on. Carmelo, and then like in the midst of all this praise, he stopped and he said, "You do know they're old, right?" And I was like, whoever he was talking to was like, "Wait a minute, you were just saying." He goes, "No, I think that. I really think that." He goes,
"Right.
This is an older team. This isn't And I was like, well, I guess because Carmelo's got to be. They're all up there, right?
They're all of 30, 34 and above. Between 30 and 36, 37, maybe.
Except AD. AD is not that old.
Yeah, except for AD. AD is like 26. But I believe maybe the strategy behind it is to have experience on the bench, so you won't have those gaps when the main players are off the floor. You'll have some you'll have some experience on the floor. That's what I came up with when I was like, because when they got a couple of guys, I was like, okay. And then Trevor came back and Harold came back, and well, not Harold, but they got Trevor, and then they got Dwight, and then Melo. And, I was like, okay. It's like, well, the only thing I can think of is they have an A squad and a B squad, but they're gonna have to get some legs in there. I mean, some youth type legs in there for the long stretch, at least. You gonna carry all of them are gonna, there's a lot.
It is a lot. I mean, it's a long season. Yeah, it'll be. I mean, like I said, I always say the same thing. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, there's no doubt that they're star-studded. But you remember back in the day when the Lakers did that. I don't remember what year it was.
Yeah,
Karl Malone. 2002 was it?
2002 or 2004 when they had Karl Malone and Gary Payton and all those. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, and then you had Shaq and Kobe. But they were pretty much. Both of them were they were battling for who was 1 and who was 1-8. But
right.
But sometimes it doesn't work because they had a lot of seasoned players, and I heard that brought up in one of the debate shows too about the 2004 team that went but got handled. Now everybody's favoring the Lakers to go to the finals against Brooklyn, but like say that shop talk, we don't know what's going to happen with them yet. That's a lot of basketball IQ, yes, but these guys got to learn how to play together. But LeBron is the guy that can do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. He just has a way of making people believe they're bigger,
better,
bigger and better, and that it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna have some fun. I'm gonna push you to your limits, but it's gonna be fun. It seems like to me, LeBron makes it fun because people, when they go play with him, it don't work for everybody.
Right.
But the ones that it didn't kind of work for, they kind of are on their own island anyway.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the bottom line is, it's, as they say, selling the Kool-Aid. You drink the Kool-Aid, you believe in the magic, and it makes for a better cohesiveness around. Like I said, they're star-studded. I think they're going to have a great year. There's a lot of teams that we talk about all the time.
I mean,
that we're just pushing them to the side. Yeah, Utah, get out of here. Milwaukee, you probably can't do it again. I mean, these are some good teams that you just pushing around.
Right, and even Phoenix, because because Chris Paul's coming back. So
Right.
you
So
still
you
got Phoenix to
yes.
deal with. And
And
you also have a potential Damian Lillard to the 76ers for Ben Simmons that's brewing out of there. Because Philly has hired Dame's trainer as a specialist for the
okay.
team, so to speak. Ben Simmons has cut off all communications with the 76ers and their staff and management, the team. He's blocked them. That's a big deal nowadays when you cut people off your Twitter. It's a big
Yeah.
deal.
Oh yeah. I don't want
It's
to
a
talk.
big deal
Yeah.
now. So, but it's just like, the writing's on the wall, everything's lining up, but they're doing everything but saying it. They're saying everything but saying it, but we know, because of the rules, they can't. But yeah,
Yeah.
so that's a
Yeah.
potential thing. And Lowry going to Miami to help with Jimmy Butler and those guys,
Man,
and they're
don't
going to
count
be
Miami out. Yeah, don't count Miami out.
they're
That's
going to
gonna
be
be
beasts. Even Atlanta's going to be crazy because Lou Williams
yeah.
is signed.
Yes.
So
I
you
mean,
got Lou
there's
Williams down
yeah
there with
with Trey.
Trey. So
Trey.
wow, so it's like it's exciting to me.
Yes,
Then you got the
it
Brooklyn
definitely is.
boys coming back, and they're going to be
Yeah.
better together. Milwaukee's going to be better together. It's exciting to see. I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, you got Denver coming back strong, shooting
Yes,
crazy threes from all over the court. And you got Portland that a lot of people, man, for some reason Portland can't put it together, but you can never take them lightly.
right. You
You
can't
know what I
take them
mean?
out
There's
of it,
not
but they never. It's like they never can get over that to that next tier. That step is so far up.
right,
But
but don't take them for granted because they'll beat
right.
you. So
And
that's definitely
yeah. And I think it might work because now Dame has an all-star he can play with in Ben Simmons. I mean, not Ben
right,
Simmons, but a Joel. And with Ben Simmons going to Portland,
right.
he could be a key factor as far as like rebounds. Like he could play he could play guard. He could play what Dame does.
Right.
It's just they had to get somebody else in there to let him do his thing where he doesn't have to be, I don't know. I guess it was too crowded under the rim for him and Joel. I believe that's probably what the problem was.
That could have been. That could have been. He needs somewhere. He needs his own
dominate
space.
inside, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. He needs his own space. He's
Mm-hmm.
that kind of guy. He's a little three-dimensional or whatever the word is. You know what I mean? Like
because when I saw him play at LSU, I was like, "Oh my God, this dude is light years ahead of everybody." Because he was making the game look so easy. And I don't know what happened. Maybe Philly, like some players is fit. May be the wrong fit for him. Maybe he goes to Portland and everything changes. But it's like it's night and day. The guy we saw, and I know everybody saw it when he was at LSU and he was just doing everything and making and it was like he was faster than everybody, but it made it look slow and easy. I don't, but
and another thing about him is, and I don't know this to be 100% true, but Portland may be a better fit for him because, and people think I'm crazy when I say that, when you play in Portland like you play in Milwaukee, you're out of sight.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's not
right. You don't have to deal with you can walk down the street and people will recognize you, but you'll be okay.
It's not the big platform, right? Philly's a big platform. New York City is a big platform. Houston's a huge, LA,
big basketball town. So
yeah. So I think in Portland and obviously Milwaukee winning the championship, and I'm sure this year we'll see more Milwaukee basketball than we've ever seen before in our whole life. But kind of like with Golden State. I mean, nobody. I mean, they were never on. Then they started winning. They were on. Golden State was always on. And I'm sure that's how. But and it may take some pressure off him. He may have been, like I said, may have been too crowded for him. He needs somewhere to grow. I hope. He's got the skills, and like I said, Portland is not a trash fire by any means. It's got a lot of potential. It's just
Right.
I don't know. It's been lacking a couple pieces,
Right.
and Golden State given Steph more money.
Oh yeah. So Steph's staying. So he's not going.
Oh yeah, he's not going anywhere. I think they're going to build I think they're going to try to make another. Really, I mean, they suffered a lot of injuries.
Yes, they did.
I mean, and that's really
the Clay injuries really, really hurt. It really hurt, especially when they had KD when they were going up against Toronto. I was like, man, because I believe that was their championship. I believe I think they were going to take that. But when KD got hurt, it was done. And when Clay was hurt, then KD got hurt. I was like, okay. Kind of like what happened to him in Brooklyn. Kind of the same thing, But
well, they're and I think you're right. I think that championship against Toronto, I think if Golden State would have stood healthy, they would have smoked them. Mm-hmm. But they did it in Toronto, and Toronto won their first championship.
Right.
So that's kind of how it goes, and especially as our stars get older, it happens more. It is what it is. I mean, our body can only take so much, and that's why the new guys coming in. I think Steph's got a lot of basketball left in him. I think he's got a lot of basketball, and I think Golden State will. Golden State will turn it around in some aspect. They made it a destination. They won a couple of championships. They obviously have a good nucleus of. They're going to make it happen, and I think that's the kind of stuff that other players go. I want to go to Golden State because I know they're going to do what they need. Kind of like the Lakers are doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Before all these changes came in LA, and LeBron went there. I mean, LA was a dump. You know what I mean? It was bad for a while.
Bad for a while.
It was. I mean, and it was weird. It was like
didn't start turning around really until
LeBron.
Lonzo got there.
Well, Lonzo, yeah. Lonzo got there. I mean, it was kind of, and then it kind of, and it's now they're back on, and it's funny because organizations they're always going to have to be some downtime. It can't be, you look at like San Antonio and you look at New England Patriots and people go, well, San Antonio, man, they were relevant for 20 plus years.
Yes.
You may not like them and you may not have a big Tim Duncan fan, but they were relevant for 20 years. And when you break that down, who else in the last 30 years have been relevant in the NBA for 20 years consistent? Now they had 20 years that they won. They won went to the playoffs. They won 5 NBA titles, played in 7 or 8, and they were pretty dominant. I mean, they were Tim Duncan and them, and they were. And you go, well, what about goals? No, not for 20 years, for a couple years. Everybody you start pointing to, you go, oh, what about? That was a couple years. It wasn't 20. So, and even they're going through a little. Even though I think they finished barely with a winning record last year.
Barely.
So but they're still kind of tweaking. I mean,
they're gonna build. They're gonna build from the inside out like they normally do. Bring in some players from overseas and get some good solid free agents that are coachable or that can work within a system. And
I don't know what it was with Kawhi and
he's
a
hybrid. He's a hybrid. He has his own way of doing things, and he has, like we said last show, he's got to be 100% before he gets on the floor, and that rubbed some of the veteran players the wrong way. They come from an era where if you can move, let's get it.
You can play. You
don't have to be spectacular, but you on the floor makes a difference. He doesn't see it that way.
No.
And, it just didn't work,
No. And
because, Duncan And those guys, Tony Parker, they set the standard for what it was to play there. He didn't fall under that.
No, he did. Yeah, it was just it just was. I guess it's just one of those things. It just wasn't, and it's so crazy because he's such a talent that I think that they could have put a team around him to go another 20 years to have that conversation. For 40 years they've been around. I mean, that's just so crazy. But it just didn't work. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, it definitely.
They are, but I'm just saying they would have been like.
I got you.
Yeah.
I think, but I mean, he moved around. I was a little surprised when he decided to stay in San Diego because, again, him being the word is hybrid, you never really know. You just don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know about today. You know what I mean? He's that guy. But he re-signed with them. I think he wants to win one in San Diego. He's from that area. Yeah. Don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he does, and he wants to win one. I mean, it meant a lot. But like I said, I mean, he won one in Toronto and left. Yeah, and it did. What I mean?
He might win one with the Clippers, and it's like, okay, I've got one at home. It's time to go somewhere else and do something. It's like with Kawhi, you never know.
You just never know.
And there's a lot of guys out there, a lot of veterans or, guys out there that play that says he's just like the other guys, but he just gets a pass because he's quiet. He's not out there and in front, and all on Twitter and things of that nature, but they say he is just as sinister because of the whole contacting Paul George, telling Paul George that Westbrook was supposed to come to the Clippers to get him there.
Yeah.
And when he got there, so
right.
But nothing gets said because he's not, he's not a vocal guy. He kind of hides behind that shield. So no one, but I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah, it was definitely made a lot of basketball news. When we come back from break, we'll talk a lot of football. Holy cow! A lot of football.
Fame. Oh my God! Everything. We got a lot. A lot.
Yeah. The Hall of Fame. That was cool. That was I enjoyed that a lot. That was cool. Hey guys, we're gonna pay some bills here on KM Radio every Tuesday night. Big Lou and Tony G on Sportsbook. KM Radio, where we go ham. KM Radio, we go ham. It's your boy Tony G, Big Lou, every Tuesday night on the Sports Book. And we've been talking some basketball, a lot going on. And we're 56 will be 54. Let's talk some football. A lot of stuff. I mean, the Hall of Fame. I watched.
Yeah. Oh man.
That was. I mean, there were some really great speeches on there. I mean, I watched Woodson and I watched Manning, of course, and then I watched the Raiders coach. It was cool. It's very Megatron.
Megatron getting in there. Drew Pearson getting in there.
Drew Pearson finally.
Palomalu's statue is amazing.
Yeah.
With the hair.
Yeah.
But it was great.
It really was. It really it was a good night. It definitely was a good night. And we were just making jokes. All you Dallas fans are gonna love us. Big Lou says y'all in trouble.
What are we doing? I love you guys. And because your spirit is unmatched. But what are we doing with our quarterback situation? Dallas Cowboy fans, what are we doing? Hit us up. Let us know. Is Cooper Rush going to be your quarterback for this season? What's going on with Dak Show? Is it more than what they're saying? Help us out here. We need answers. So I'm going to the Dallas Cowboy fans because y'all are connected. What's going on? What are we doing? And how are you guys going to bounce back? I mean, the NFC East is for the taking.
Yeah.
You got quarterback issues. Well, you got some magic in Washington, but how long does it last? Daniel Jones, y'all not afraid of him. Y'all afraid of Saquon. But Daniel Jones is not a threat. Philly doesn't know what they're doing. They won't even name their starting quarterback the starting quarterback. So it's yours for the taking. Go get y'all somebody serviceable. Go get Nick Foles. Go get Nick Foles. Maybe Nick Foles can help y'all out if the Colts don't get him. But y'all need somebody that's going to get y'all to the playoffs, because with the additions to I believe the defense is going to be 100% better. With the, it's going to be 100% better. I'm not worried about the defense. Y'all are going to be fine. I'm still got question marks on y'all corners, that back end, but y'all are going to be fine. Let's fix that quarterback situation. What are y'all going to do?
Well, the other thing is you know how it is in the NFL. They never want to tell you how bad the injury is. Right. And I think Dak's injury was a little worse than they said it was. Mm-hmm. And like you brought up a good point, I'm sure he's having some issues about planting that foot. I mean, that would just be human nature. And I think they also, like I said, they always, oh man, all the yards. And, here's the deal. When you're playing catch up, they're playing you a zone because they're up by 20. Mm-hmm. You're gonna put on a lot of yards. You're gonna have all kind of yards, and there's no doubt. And that's the fact. But one thing about the world we live in now, the truth doesn't seem to be it's not as important as it was. It's more like I just need to say what I want to say, even though it's not true.
It's not true, but
the fact is Dak has a good arm. They were playing from behind most of the year. He put on a lot of yards before he got injured. You weren't going anywhere if he didn't get hurt. You know what I'm saying? It's not in the same. Your defense was not good last year, and the offense. I don't know how good they really are because they're always behind. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, how did you get behind? Well, the defense scored. The defense let a score in. Well, you should have came right back and scored if it was so muddy of an offense, but it wasn't. Right. You'd fall 10, 15, 20 points below, and then you were trying to make a storm come back, and he had a lot of yards. And those are the facts. I mean, whether you like it or not, or so. I don't know. I mean, like I said, they're put, and the Cowboys are like the Lakers or like the Yankees or like the Dodgers. They put a lot of pressure. Everybody's looking to you. You walk around like you're the man. You're the baddest thing on the planet. Well, man, everybody's coming for a shot at you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean,
the target on your back is a big target on your back.
That's right.
Everybody's
and you got one come opening day because you got your handful. You know what I'm saying? You want to see how good the Cowboys are. We'll find out on opening day. That's exactly what's going to happen. Because they're playing a very good Tampa Bay team with a great quarterback, well coached, a really good defense. I can go on and on. So that will give you, and if they beat the Tampa Bay, okay. You're on to something. Ain't nothing.
If y'all beat Tampa Bay game 1, I will retract all my negative comments about the team. Because it's going to take some until I don't even think Tampa lose any. I don't even think they lost any coaches. I think they still got all their assistant coaches and personnel, don't they?
I mean, the thing is anything can happen any given Sunday, as they say. Right. This is true. But I mean, when you look at it, and all we're doing is looking at stats matching up.
Yeah, because we don't know. But
I mean,
we just going off of with a team that won the Super Bowl that still got everybody.
That's a heck of a deal. But we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of schedules are tough, and they got a tough one this year. They definitely got a tough one, and that comes with the territory, man. You know what I mean? The big fish gets the other big fish. You can't just keep eating up on the little fish. And what's so funny is, so they were talking about the Texans quarterback, Deshaun.
Yes.
So now they're going. I bet the Texans are kicking themselves in the butt when they could have got rid of when he asked to be traded before all the allegations. They could have got could have got 3 or 4 number ones, a couple number twos, money, everything. And now, even though there's a huge interest for him, we talked about this last week. There's so many people that are like, I don't know what I want to touch it, but I don't know what to do.
Right.
Nobody wants to risk their whole franchise.
No.
And give up everything, and then they go, yeah, he's not going to play for a while. We're going to ban him.
Right.
And then you'd be like, wow.
Yeah. Especially new GMs. New general managers don't want to they don't want to come out the gate with their heads tied in allegations. It's like, we just want to sit off on that.
Yeah,
and
we want to.
They had to, but I stand your ground. But if y'all wanted to, like you said, they could have got out of that whole situation.
When he first asked
to get a little bit.
Yeah, when he first asked for it, they could have got whatever they wanted for him, because it didn't come out till later. And if he wasn't happy, and the bottom line is, even if he's there and he was happy, I just don't think the Texans is. I don't think they're moving in the right direction around him. I mean, JJ Watt's not there, even though JJ Watt to me is on his near the ending of his career, because he's starting to get injury prone. Still a force, and they got rid of it, the wide receiver and all kind of stuff. And I don't think they're, I don't know of a good. I don't, off the top of my head, I can't just give the kid I think you ought to go there,
right?
Because he needs to be in a certain setup that would benefit. And Mahomes ain't going anywhere, so that's a negative. That's a negative. Yeah, that's a negative in Kansas City, where he probably would fit.
He could probably go is Las Vegas with John Gruden.
I can see that.
They'd send David Carr to Texas.
Plus a bunch of money and
plus some money and some picks to get Deshaun Watson to the Raiders with John Gruden, which is, he's kind of on a hot seat now. It's time to start winning, John. He's got to win in Vegas. He's got to win there.
He got $100 million for 10 years, total control of the team. I was like, why did you? I mean, he won 1 Super Bowl. Let me put this in perspective. People criticize me. He won 1 Super Bowl with Tony Dungy's team that Tony Dungy's put together. And then the football god said, well, hey, we'll let you play your old team where you know all the plays. You can play Oakland in the Super Bowl. What else could they? I mean, it's like it was all lined up. The old saying goes, everything lines up. Oh, it was lined up that day. Right. Gruden he couldn't have lost that game. I mean, it just was like, who's he playing? Right. Oakland, the team he used to coach the year before, who didn't change their playbook. Gee, what are the chances of that? I mean, yeah.
And your defense is already set. You didn't even have to sniff the defense. It was already ready.
No.
All you had to do was make some trick plays and get Brian Johnson to get him in the end zone.
That was it. I mean, hey, it works out. He got a ring, but okay, he's got the Super Bowl, and I'm like, golly, $100 million. I mean, I don't know. I know Chucky's got the swag, and
they love him. He's TV. He's TV gold, and that's what gets him. Gold. He's TV gold. Everybody loves him. He's character, and I'm even a fan, but he's got to win for me to brag about him. I can't brag to nobody about him right now. He's got to win, and he's got to get some. He's got to get some personnel in there to help him win.
I'm gonna tell you who else. Who else he reminds me of, and it's the same thing. He's great for the camera. He's great for the media, but he couldn't coach. We had him in Buffalo. And then he brought his brother with his no-play defense.
The Ryan brothers, Rex.
Yeah, Rex. And you remember the Saints had him.
Rex, Rex. We had Rob around, his brother, coaching our defense.
Stop a paper bag. Yeah.
My God. And they were killing us.
They were garbage. But the media loved him. Yeah. Said all the right things. Everything. But man,
the hair, the look,
Oh, man. but it reached a point where it was like, hey, you guys haven't won anything. We're done with you. And
Right.
that was it. I mean, he went to Buffalo. He was going to do all these things and blah, 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 blah. And it was just like, he was the one that when we had Mario Williams, we paid Mario Williams $100 million for Mario Williams to play in a 4-3, which by the way, he's a stud in, or he was a stud. And then Phillips comes and puts him in a 3-4. It was like, we paid him $100 million.
Yeah.
Let's, if he,
He's
that's what
gonna
he
play
does.
the 4-3 defense.
Yeah, for $100 million, not oh, we don't do that. I mean, they got rid of him, and Mario had a good season, but he reminds me. But Chucky is at that point, like you said. Okay, you got that Super Bowl from way back, and it's got you to where you're at now.
Yeah.
But man, I mean, somebody wants some action.
Your hype light is dimming. The hype light is dimming down. You know, they're not even a threat in their own division. Just be a threat in your division. Then people will back off a little.
He doesn't like Carr.
I don't think so.
I don't think he likes Carr.
I really think so, but he's stuck with him for now. I don't think he likes him.
But, you know, he's made some comments about him. And the thing is I like Carr. But, again, it's the same thing. I mean, you pummeled him in the ground for 3 years. I mean, and then you're going to criticize him? I mean, get the man some help.
Yeah, get him offensive line.
Get him offensive line. Then you
if he played behind Kansas City or, you know, Tampa's offensive line, San Francisco.
Yeah.
You think if David Carr was in San Francisco, he'd be the same? I don't think so. Even if even in Seattle, I just think it's that culture.
Yeah,
I believe Gruden is kind of stuck in the past a little. And this is just my opinion, y'all. I don't know him personally. I'm actually a fan of him. This is just my analysis based off of what we've seen so far.
But that's him, though. I mean,
he's stuck in the past a little, you know, and he's living off the hype. The hype got him in his head, and it's not showing results.
No, it's not showing. It's not showing. You know, the other thing is it's you know how some coaches can progress and they can go, hey, we're moving, we're changing with. I mean, they all got their his is just like it's this way, and I don't care what you show me. This is how we're gonna do it, and and I'm not gonna take any input or any. You know what I mean? And it's not winning anymore.
And it's going to work now.
Yeah, and it's not winning anymore. And people are. I mean, you know, the Raiders spent $1 billion on that stadium. I mean, it's supposed to be one of the baddest. It's supposed to be the baddest stadium as of right now.
Right.
So I mean, so they're all pot committed. And Gruden. I don't know. You know, he tried to get, you know, they spent all that money on the wide receiver, not Le'Veon Bell.
Was it AB?
The one that went, the one
Antonio
that's playing
Brown?
Antonio Brown playing for Tampa.
Yeah,
you know, and the thing is why didn't you, before you did all that? They say it didn't cost them any money. I don't know what it cost. Before you wasted all that time and energy on him, I mean, I would have thought there would have been a little more time to meet with. Because, you know, like when Brady met with, I don't know, Brady, whatever, he got him. He's coming back. You know, I mean, I think Gruden, he goes after, I think one of the main reasons why he went after him was that he was high profile.
Yes.
That's more profile, you know, even though he could be a can of snakes, you know what I mean? It could be like touching a can full of rattlers. As long as it gets me more attention, I'll get him. But it wasn't the right move for the franchise. You know, that's my thing. I mean, he could have spent that time and money on a lot other wide receivers. You know what I mean? Maybe not as flashy, but would have been a good add to the for Carr, you know, something to throw to. But instead he went for the flash in the pan, and it didn't work.
It worked.
It didn't work at all. I mean, he never even played a game with them.
No, he did not. No, he did not. And you know, but all that, and then you still criticize your quarterback. Look what type of wide receiver you get him. You know,
Right.
where is his? Why you couldn't get him aligned with that? Do they have? Now they had a good running game. Am I right? They had a couple
they're
good backs
pretty.
down
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But
They're pretty.
when the safeties don't have to play deep,
Yeah,
because they know
well,
the line's going to break. You know, so
right. That's
you know,
right.
yeah.
That's exactly right. They got, like I said, and they're not bad at times. They're not bad. They've played. I mean, they're not, like I said. There was times they played last
Yeah,
year.
they had some key wins, some
Yeah, they
good
did,
wins. Their wins were good wins.
yeah, and it was
They
like,
need
wow,
more. They need consistent.
they do. They do. They definitely do. They need consistently more. They need. I don't know. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see with them. They're always adding on. It'll be, as I always say, interesting to see how long will Oakland say, okay, we've had enough with Chucky. He's got to go.
Mm.
And the thing is it all starts from upstairs. When you look at Cleveland and you look at how many number one draft choice quarterback, my God, if you went to Cleveland and you were number one draft choice, you were not going to do. I mean, they've had so many.
No.
But they got rid of the general managers and made changes, and they brought in the right people, and that's what I mean. It starts at the top. I mean, you can have all pros on the field, but if upstairs is messed up, downstairs is going to be messed up because it all bleeds over.
Yeah, it bleeds over.
Yeah,
Or at the top, and that cup bleeds over to the other ones.
That's why the teams that have success or are having success, they're all working in a kind of harmony. Trying to make things happen, trying to make people happy. And again, it's a business, and they know that, but they're trying to keep it as much as they can. Not a business, but it is, and every NFL football player knows that. So, look, guys, we're going to pay some bills, and I guess when we come back, we'll talk about Josh Allen's $196 million contract. How about that? $150 million guaranteed. Holy cow.
Wow.
I know. I saved that for last. I was
see a big old pool and a big old lake somewhere with that.
I know, right? All right, guys, we're going to go pay some bills. We'll be back in 2 minutes right here on KM Radio, where we go ham.
Hell.
KM Radio, we go ham. It's your boy Tony G. Big Lou Sports Book every Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. I'm talking NBA action, NFL action. Talking about a lot. Josh Allen, $196 million, $150 million guaranteed, largest guaranteed ever in the NFL. I don't know. I mean, I'm a Bills fan, and I people, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I hope this kid is everything they say he is. I haven't seen the structure of it. I hope it's structured right, because if not, we're just going to have a $196 million quarterback with nobody to play or throw to. Even though we've done it. So we got White, the all-pro cornerback, gave him his money. Tiggs, guy, we've managed to keep everybody. I think we may have, from what I can see, I think we may have a 2-year run with everybody. Maybe a 3-year run with everybody. After that, of course, it gets it gets kind of weird. But I hope. I mean, I criticized Dallas for paying Dak the money, and I'm not going to not criticize. I'm criticizing, and I wasn't. I mean, if I did criticize Dallas, I guess I'm criticizing Buffalo. It's a lot of money, Lou. It's a lot of money to tie in, and then 36, 48 months from now, we're in the same position that they are in Seattle. Can't get nobody. Can't afford nobody. We had a little short. Yeah, right. We had a short run. I mean, in reality, Seattle had a 4-year run. And now it's at the end where it's just him making stuff happen. I mean, he's willed them through so many games.
Yes,
There's
he
no
has.
doubt about it.
Yes, he has. And I agree. Now if it's back end loaded like Patrick Mahomes deal, then
Right.
I see it. Then that way you have some wiggle room to get a Super Bowl winning franchise, Super Bowl winning team in there in the near future.
Right.
And then, once, everything starts dying down, by the time he gets the rest of his money, you got your new quarterback in, things of that nature. I do believe in Josh Allen. I do think that's the quarterback that can do it. I might be jumping the gun on that, but I have a little fan boy in me that ties into that take. But I believe he can get it done from what I've seen so far, especially against the competition that he's played against, and from where they are, because when they talk about the AFC, the Bills is like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
The top
Yeah.
5, I'll say the top 3 in the AFC got to put Bills right up there with that.
And that being said, I do agree. I'm critical of them because they are my team.
Yeah.
So the other thing is that, at least when Wilson got paid, he had a Super Bowl and he went to a Super. He had 2. He was 2. He got paid. He got paid, and it was like, man, he got to pay him. He did it.
Right.
Mahomes, at least, I don't know.
He won a Super Bowl and got paid.
Yeah, he did. He won a Super Bowl.
So you got a point there. They
so Josh Allen, we have
first before they got the money. So you do got a point there.
Yeah, that's all that I'm saying. We went to the playoffs last year, won a playoff game, which was great. Played in the AFC Championship game. Kansas City got us. So yeah, definitely in making strides in the right way. Well, I don't know. Like I said, that's a lot of money. From what I see, he's got about 36. I don't know, 3 years in there where they can, maybe even 4. I have to look at it again and see how they got it. How they got it loaded up and what they can do from there. It's a big contract. It's the biggest contract in the NFL as of right now. Well, a guaranteed money. Because I know and Lamar's going to want to get paid. He's coming up on because Josh Allen had a $25 million option. That's why they went ahead and signed him. And I'm sure he's going to want to get paid.
Everybody's going to, especially those top, like I said, those top 5. They're going to go up. They're going to want to go up.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're going to want to.
Even though that I believe even though I feel like there's not a lot of people that can do a lot of squeaking right now. Lamar, yes. Herbert, not yet.
Yeah.
But out of Josh and Lamar, Baker got money, and the rest are seasoned. The rest of the quarterbacks are seasoned. I can't see anybody behind Lamar who should demand. Don't quote me on that, y'all. Let me sit on it for a second. Let me make sure I'm not leaving no one out before I step that. But I'm trying to think like right off my head. Out of the AFC, you got Mahomes, you got Josh Allen, Baker, Lamar. Now after that,
Deshaun.
Yeah, Deshaun.
But he already got his money.
But he got his.
He got it.
So who else after Lamar can really go and kind of strong arm for some serious cash.
Not strong, no,
You know
not
what I'm saying?
strong
So
arm.
it's
No,
like,
I don't think there's anybody. Unless Tua. I mean, that Tua is a couple years away.
yeah.
And I
My
think,
verdict, I still got the binoculars on him.
yeah,
But I do believe he's progressing. It's just a little slower than, and then that's okay because he was injured. So but I still got, I'm still looking to see what that is first. I'm not quite sure what type, not quite sure where that's going yet. So the verdict, I'm still going to give him some time to kind of work that out down there. He's looking good, but it just seems like to me he's half a step away.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's
because how I don't know. It's just to me when I look at it, and it's just how Josh and Lamar and Patrick, the quick thinking,
right.
But and I know some of them been played before, but it's like when they came in the league, they quick decision. That 1, 2, and 3, there wasn't that much time in between. There's a lot of time in between first, second, and third reads with Tua.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, okay, I'm gonna ease off the criticism. I'm gonna let him speed up a little bit, and then I'll start seeing what's going on with that.
Well, the other thing is again, I thought Miami was going in the right direction, and then when Fitzmagic became Fitztragic, then they're trying to fit him in. This kid just came off a serious injury.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? And I mean, I would think that you'd want to keep him in pristine shape to see what you have.
Yes.
So if you do want to get rid of him, then he's not damaged goods.
Right.
You got something like, oh, we got Tua, man. What are you going to give us for Tua? But instead, they're, like I said, I think he'll be. Yeah, I think he'll be all right. What about Murray in Phoenix?
I like Kyler Murray.
I like him too.
Kyler Murray in Phoenix because of the fact that, Russ. I hate to say Russ is on the back end, but Russ is on the back end. I hate to say that. I hate to say it because I feel like Russell Wilson got a lot more football in him than we think he does. But he can't play the style of football he used to play to have a lot left.
Yeah.
If you can kind of,
that's true.
If you can kind of put that together, can't be scrambling, dangling, it can't be that Russ. It's got to be a little bit of scrambling, but a lot more precision. It's like Tom Brady, Peyton Manning type precision or accuracy with a lot less of the razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
So your offensive line won't be so, decimated when it comes to the end of the third or the fourth quarter. I do believe Kyler is on the uptrend. They got him some guys, and he can sling the ball.
He can sling the ball.
I'm probably 2 tiers over Tua with Kyler Murray as far as my, I've seen him, but, Arizona still got a long way to go, I think, with the team. They're getting there, but I still think they got they got some stuff to do. Because there ain't nobody seeing LA or San Francisco anytime soon.
No.
So
and,
they got some work to do there. Because they're saying that Matthew Stafford is like ridiculous out there in practice. But this is practice talk, but they had golf and then you get Stafford, and Trey Lance. Oh my goodness. I saw a clip of a deep ball throw. Oh man. Garoppolo better be on his A game. This dude got it. He's got it.
Here's the deal though. If San Fran catches a good quarterback, I didn't say great. I just said good. That team is like stocked up with some talent. You know what I'm saying? Like
Super Bowl caliber team.
They do, man. It's just they didn't have Jimmy went down, didn't have a good backup. It's everybody. It's hard to have a good backup. You go, yeah, we got a great backup too. We could pay him like $80,000 a year, and then we got our $180 million quarterback. So it's hard to find, especially it's one thing to have a backup come in, finish out the game. My God, you're trying to get him to finish the season out. You know what I'm saying? Now he went from backup to now he's going to be starter. I mean, that's what I get it.
Yeah.
What was the other guy's name from Minnesota? Remember when everybody had was it Meekum? He was a backup quarterback, had a great year. It was a couple years ago. It was the same year as Wentz. Same year, all the madness with Wentz and all that.
Yeah.
He played for Minnesota, but I ain't heard nothing else about him. He was a good example, and there's a lot of them. There's a good example. They can come in, you pay them $8 million a year. They come in, they're gonna get you out of the game, get you to win. Let's go home.
Yeah.
You didn't pay them
right
$100 million to leave the team. You know what I'm saying? I get it. Well, I mean, that's not what you paid them for. You paid them to, hey, Big Lou went down and needed to finish the game. I got that. Not fill Lou's shoes. I mean, I'm 160 million short on this. I'm trying to feel. I don't. Remember in Fast and Furious 5? Just let it sink in. Let it sink in. It'll hit you. Yeah.
right. And there's also not to put a cap on the San Francisco thing. There are talks about Trey being in certain situations during the regular season. They're going to put him in situational plays. So he's going to get reps here, rep there, bring him in slowly, which means that they're not counting on Garoppolo. Well, I can't say that.
Right.
But when your quarterback's, when he's good, I mean, you got to get him ready.
Back in the day, we used to see the backup. When Roger Staubach, when the Cowboys got up a lot, Danny White came in.
He come in for a quarter, whatever.
When Joe stepped out, you know what I mean? When Montana stepped out,
Steve Young came in.
Steve Young, I mean,
and that's how we found out about it.
Yeah, I mean, they used to really bring quarterbacks in on a way. I mean, I get it. I mean, now there's so much money tied in, but I mean, hey, it's still part of the budget. I mean, I don't know. You think, like I said, with the same thing with Tua, you spend all that money. Let the young man heal the shoulder, teach him the system.
Right.
I mean, worst case scenario, let him look like a stud when you want him to. And then you got something to trade. He's healed. He looks good. We're just going a different route. And somebody's like, man, we'll give him a shot. He looks good. He hasn't been hurt. And let him move around. But Miami's got so much talent too. They got so much draft choices. It'd be interesting. I mean, who they have before that? Joe Rosen. Josh Rosen. Where's he? Yeah. Where's that poor guy at? He's somewhere.
He's somewhere. I'm not sure where, but yeah,
he
poor
got
guy.
Pummeled. He got pummeled.
Yeah, I felt bad for the guy. I felt bad for the guy because I thought he was going to be one of those guys that was going to be on the back end. He was going to get in a situation where it's like he's going to start off slow, but he's going to progress, and that was just. They had him so far behind the 8 ball, Lou, that he could have never. You know what I'm saying? I think there was nothing for him there. He didn't have a running game. The line wasn't very good. Wasn't very many options to throw to, and the defense ain't that great neither. And you're like, okay, all righty, let's see what we got. And this poor guy took a beating. Yes,
and I'm sure he's somewhere. I'm sure he's on somebody's squad somewhere. We have to look at that. Training camp starts in 20 days?
Yeah.
Or 20 some days. It'll be interesting to see what happens with all that with our Dallas fans. We traveled all the way to Ohio to kick a field goal. Yeah, we could have stood. They're hating on us. They're like, oh man,
there go your points. There it is right there. There's your point.
Man, the kicking game is strong. I ain't lying. The kicking game is strong. I don't know what else.
Good there. Y'all got that.
Y'all good. We got the kicking game. It was just a Hall of Fame, guys. We're just having a little fun. It wasn't a Super Bowl. I know you guys. If you guys would have won, it would have been the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
of course.
Oh yeah, we're straight.
There you go. Did Ben play?
No,
I'm
I don't
trying to
think
remember.
Ben played at all.
No, Ben didn't
I
play.
don't
He's
think
just
Ben played at all.
no. He ain't trying to get injured. I know he lost some weight.
Yeah.
Lost a little weight, took a little pay cut, trying to bring him. Try to win him one more. Get him his third ring.
Mm-hmm.
Get Pittsburgh their 7th Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Hey, Pittsburgh's got the most Super Bowls of. Well, they're tied. My bad. They're tied with New England.
Yeah.
New England tied them because they had 6 for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Then New England tied them, and then Brady got 7, but he's with Tampa Bay. So, yeah, definitely. But they're trying to do. Everybody's trying to get back to the promised land.
Yeah.
Kansas City's coming hard and heavy. They'll be interesting to watch. The Titans.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the AFC is just it's loaded up. I mean, there's no
Cleveland's looking good.
Cleveland and
acquisitions.
So we got all kinds. Hey guys, we appreciate you guys tuning in every Tuesday night. We're gonna call it a night. Our time is up. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Remember, KM Radio, where we go ham.
Ham.